Sometimes you can make more sense, make more intention, make more feelings with wordless melodies. You can say much more sometimes.
What is a wordless melody
It's
called?
a nigun, Rabbi, a nigun.
A nigun. A nigun? Did Sean know that one? There probably, I learned in other cultures they have wordless melodies too. It's not, I thought it was only Jews, because we like to sing to ourselves. But then I heard it from another culture. Do Catholics have that? I don't...
No, they're boring.
I'm glad that wasn't on the microphone.
Anybody know the time? Do we have some?
Yeah, actually it's perfectly on time.
Perfectly on time? Okay, we will save this warm-up for our next time that we're together.
So let's everyone take a nice deep breath of Shabbat air. This day was divided between a beautiful, sunny, blue sky day and a normal Buffalo fall day. Did you notice that about the middle of the day, suddenly it said, okay, this is Buffalo. We got spoiled, we had Florida in the beginning of the day, then we have traditional Buffalo. So Shabbat Shalom. It is wonderful to be here, our first L'chaim, and I even have a tie that my son, I asked for two things for my birthday. Socks, because you can always use socks, they're always getting ruined, and ties. And my son Boaz, he found a tie that had all sorts of, I don't know, hamsas and Jewish stars, and I thought, this is a L'chaim tie. And how perfect, I get to honor my son for his wonderful gift to me. And I actually have a perfect tie for tonight. How do you like this? All right, before I bring up Bruce over there, I was walking my dogs in our neighborhood, and often when I'm walking my dogs, as you know, I write poetry, I write songs, all these kind of things, and occasionally I see congregants. And I was walking my dogs, who are not always the friendliest, apologies, especially Nava. But my friend Connie, who is a frequent visitor to Shir Shalom, and who gave me a wonderful tour of the Basilica. If you want a tour of that beautiful building at Lackawanna, it is spectacular, and she will give you the most amazing tour. I highly recommend it. But anyways, she flags me down, Rabbi, come over here. But she knows that my dogs and other people aren't always a good mix. So she says, don't worry, I'm putting it in my mailbox. So she put it in her box near her door, and I run, she gets in her car, and I go in carefully, and I pick it up, and she gave me this wonderful handout. It's called 6 Stories with Deep Meaning. I thought, what a wonderful way to start out tonight's service. So listen to these, Cantor. You'll love these, okay. Once all villagers decided to pray for rain. On the day of prayer, all the people gathered, but only one boy came out with an umbrella. That is faith. Number 2, when you throw babies in the air, they laugh because they know you will catch them. That is trust. Every night we go to bed without any assurance of being alive the next morning, but still we set the alarm to wake up. That is hope. We plan big things for tomorrow in spite of zero knowledge of the future. That is confidence. We see the world suffering, but still we get married and have children. That is love. And on an old man's shirt was written a sentence, I'm not 80 years old, I'm a sweet 16 with 64 years of experience. And it's from Bundism's page Facebook, I don't know. But thank you, Connie, wherever you are. She said she couldn't make services tonight, but I said, I thought I should read that for her. So I think we're ready for you. And we have a special guest that was on your side over there who is the birthday who has a birthday celebration today. Maybe you'll call her out. Oh, it's like parting the sea there.
Yeah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And L'chaim. Welcome to L'chaim. What a great way to start our new year of educational but informational and interesting services once a month. Our Adult Education Committee has put this together, and we'll be looking at life cycle events once a month, and it really will be fascinating. I want to say thank you, by the way, to everyone who decided to forego Beatlemania for Templemania. Quick show of hands, who really wanted to go to Paul McCartney tonight but couldn't get a good ticket or a reasonably priced ticket? Well, we're here. And you're not doing a Beatles Shabbat, so that's okay.
Oh, that would have been good.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah, that would have been perfect.
But that's okay. We'll be fine with what you do. We're always good with what you do.
We're starting Purim already.
Oy,
What could I
we're
say?
starting Purim already. Can we get through Hanukkah first?
Hanukkah.
Can we get through Hanukkah before we think about Purim?
No.
No? All
This
right.
Sunday.
She's
no,
tough.
Next Sunday is the audition.
Oy, she's tough. Anyway, it's good to see everyone, and we have a really interesting service this evening, and I'm going to get out of the way and let the interesting people take over. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And oh, by the way, he mentioned we have a couple of birthdays tonight. So Mom, today is her 96th birthday.
Oh, she did not like that you mentioned that.
She's the youngest 96-year-old we know. It is Evie's birthday.
And
She's a little younger. It's Joanne's birthday. She's out celebrating tonight. She's out, God knows where, celebrating her
Paul
birthday.
McCartney?
No, she's not at Paul McCartney, but she is out to dinner, so we'll let her do that. She misses so few services. But anyway, happy birthday to them, and Shabbat Shalom to you guys.
And actually, well, we're going to have an opening song, but maybe we'll bring Rella over as we do the song.
Sure.
We're going to turn to page 128 for Ma Yafeh Hayom. It's a very simple Hebrew. You'll think you're an expert in Hebrew if you've never heard this before. Just Ma Yafeh Hayom and Shabbat Shalom. How beautiful is the day of Shabbat.
Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. So let me just say what I'm doing over here. We take the horizon, and then we take the sun, and we set it, because Shabbat starts, right, Friday evening. Doesn't start in the morning, starts Friday evening, so it's Shabbat, and then Shalom, it means peace, it means hello, but it also means complete. So we think of the wholeness of peace. And that goes back like decades and decades for me, but I just love the motions.
And one time Cantor tried to teach me that. It did not go very well.
The horizon and the orb.
Rella, happy birthday. And I love the purple for your birthday. We're going to turn to our candle lighting on page 120. So if you can't see, she's over here because our bima is taken over by chairs that we'll need for later. what she is lighting there is actually our new candlestick. So now you have a better look at them. They're much closer, from our adult B'nai Mitzvah class. And we have a new Kiddush cup. So page 120.
Shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
And if you want to lift the Kiddush cup there, page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei bria kafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav
V'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maseh
Bereshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tzion mitzrayim kivanu b'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'beratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai
Shemo.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
Chaim. That was the lowest and the slowest Kiddush we've ever done. It must have been Bruce's key. Is that a good key for you, Bruce?
Oh my God. Thank you, Rel. Rel also.
Yeah, that wasn't any good. It's called the chug. It's called the chug.
Rella had a chance to light our candles at our service at Amherst Community Church just a couple weeks ago. So that was wonderful. All right, we are going to turn to Lecha Dodi on page 138 and 139. We are going to be welcoming our Shabbat bride. And we'll sing together the first, second, fifth, and ninth verse. On the ninth verse, we rise, we face the doorway over there. We imagine Shabbat bride coming into the room. We bow to her, and then we welcome one another by waving at one another. Again, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lecha dodi likrar kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Try with me. Lecha dodi likrar kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Shama v'zachar v'dibor echad, Yishmiyanu el hamnuchad. Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, v'shem hu tiferet v'lithilah. Lecha dodi likra kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat levchoven elkam, ki him b'kol habracha, merosh Adonai, Elohim, everyone. Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Ene Shabbat, Likavela, Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, Ene Shabbat, Likavela, Boi v'shalom, Hateret bara, Gam b'simcha, ובצהלה, תוך אמוני המסגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה.
Welcome one another. Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekavela, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat nekavela. We remain standing for our call of community and look around at our wonderful community here tonight, page 146, the call of prayer and community, the Baruch Hu.
La 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Page 147 at the top, let's read together in the English. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. And we turn to our central blessing, page 152, 153, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
seated, we turn to the V'ahavta, page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And let's read together on 155 an English translation of what we just sang. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gates. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. We continue with the Michamocha, page 158, singing the praises of all the miracles that we have witnessed in our lives.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורדי Lord, osefalem, נורדי Lord, osefalem, Adonai gimlo leolamai. מלכותך רמובנך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו ואמרו, זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני גמלה לעולמי. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה.
I invite you to rise for our silent meditation. Amidah starts on page 164 to page 164 to 180. Take this time for your own private thoughts and prayers, and whenever you're ready, you may be seated. continue with Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace, on page 180.
Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yako Yisrael, v'yimru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yako Yisrael, 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 Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, Yako Yisrael.
Now, Cantor, I just have a question. I notice on the list you have a lot of female composers. There's some interesting ones here.
I didn't even realize that. Even that warm-up song that we did today, the I Diddy Die, remember that back from 15 minutes ago? That's, her name is Bryce Emmeline Migdal.
Yeah, because and then you have a couple of other, Nurit
Yeah,
Hirsch.
you know what? Just about, even Svika Peak. You know, our Shema was female, and even the Oseh Shalom, and the Micha Mocha isn't. But everything else so far, the Lecha Dodi was Daphne Rosenberg. The Baruch Hu was Nelson, Rachel Nelson. And then our closing hymn, I won't give it away now, but that's also another female composer. Very interesting. How
Yeah.
observant of you.
Well, I just noticed, I thought it was a wonderful tribute. We often have at least probably half of ours, but it just seemed
Yeah, at
even
least
more.
half, but this is, go ladies.
Yeah, speaking of which, one of the people that really helped lead the way, Debbie Friedman, who I kind of had a chance to meet years ago at a Cage conference, but she was really brought a new vision of Jewish music into the world in the 60s and 70s, and 80s, combining folk. And Misha Berach is one of the key prayers
Yeah.
that we do, but we do a number of them.
She
So
came
if we-
for a semester at my school, so I studied with her back in like 1997, 98. She was in ill health back then too.
Yeah, she wasn't very old when she died, but she
Really suffered with some mysterious illness.
Yeah, she
that
really
affected
composed
her
and
whole
made such a
body.
mark in such a short amount of time. too.
Yeah.
Page 371. Yeah, it's been about 15 years since she's died, at least. So we're going to say our blessing for healing. I'm going to read our list from our congregation, and then we'll go around, and if you have names you'd like to add or keep in your heart, just raise your hand if you'd like to say them out loud. We are thinking as a community of Nancy Adler, Cecil Ammerman, Carol Buda, Alan Bernstein, Jan Sandberg, Jeff Brody, Rosemary Bergolzer, Sheldon Cohen, Terriana Dreyfish, Ronnie DeBrowen, Kenny Duval, Mark Farber, Isabel Farley, Tina Ferruto, Phelan Forbin, Sharon Goldberg, Adrian Graber, Aaron Hamilton, Jill Hamilton, Granger Hugh Kelly, Ryan Johnson, Susan Lasky, Gail Lewis, Robin Lewis, Lynn Longo, Robert McCoy, Jeff Morris, Pamela Nigut, Carol Parise, Amy Poses, Marianne Pula, Tamaro Ratina, Mark Rodman, Candy Rodriguez, Sarah Korn Rothschild, Martin Rubin, Randy Lifson, Jan Sandberg, Benjamin Sermon, Rodney Shapiro, Carol Shine, Roz Silver, Russ Steinberg, Frank Terranova, Gloria Tatuski, Adam Tinlin, Andre Toth, Isaac Webb, Gail Willig-Smith, Fred Weiner, Gail Zaretsky, Avram Moshe, Carla Bat-Chana, Chana Ezra Ben Shul. So we'll go around, and if you have other names.
Linda Resnick. John Bell.
Amy and Emma Greenberg. Dr. Murray Edgar. Christine Van.
We'll bring all those names into our hearts as we sing the Misha Berach, again, page 371.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebebrach imotenu, mekor hambracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
A complete healing of body and soul. May our prayers go out to where they're needed, and may we all find a sense of comfort and relief and hopefully healing, and we say, Amen. So we are starting our L'chaim series. This is very exciting. If you've ever done a L'chaim, you know what a L'chaim is. You get a cup of alcohol and you say L'chaim, to life, made famous by Fiddler on the Roof. We were thinking about what to do this year. For 2 years, we did Jews of all hues, which was wonderful and very meaningful. We got to hear a lot of people's journey in our community, and what an interesting community. We have people from around the world who got to share their story or their family's story, and we also got to eat from those places. So as we were thinking about it this year, we talked it over with Ronnie and Evie and Michael Berger. We were trying to come up with a topic that would resonate, and we thought because this is our 13th year, we'll talk about kind of life cycle events within the community. If you think 13 years is a short amount of time, but it's a long time. A lot has happened in this room as Shir Shalom. This room is filled with memories, and it's a beautiful thing. Each time someone has come here, or their families, and had a celebration or a sad occasion, it really has transformed the room. They talk about ghost stories, but really there are stories of meaning where the life is really imprinted in this room. Every chair here, every seat here, every place in this room is imprinted with us. And so we're going to be celebrating that this year. But we're starting off, we really wanted to acknowledge this as our 13th anniversary. So we'll be going through birth, weddings and conversions and other life cycle events, bar mitzvahs. But today we're really just focused on our own journey and what this meant. And I really particularly wanted to hear from the committee that helped put together Shir Shalom. Shir Shalom didn't just happen by accident. It was a lot of people working very hard to make it happen. And that's why it has been as successful a merger, because there was a sense of community right from the beginning. And the people that were there, how many of you here have ever formed anything in your life, started something? Raise your hand, a business, a new entity, a nonprofit. It's a very exciting thing. I've been able to be part of a number of these formations, and it is so special. It's so hard. Every moment is fraught, but it's so exciting. And it's a wonderful energy kind of birthing something like this. So I think it's a beautiful way to start. On our 10-year anniversary, I should say, we got a chance to hear from the two presidents that put this together, Jill Hamilton and Todd Sugarman. So now we're going to have a chance to hear from some of the merger committee members. First, I'd like to bring up Ronnie DeBrouwen, who's going to MC this part of it, like she did the last few years with the Jews of all hues. And I'd like to bring up four of my friends up. We have, we have Judy Henn, Gary Bluestein's over there, Robin Raphael, and Mark Slonim. And they're going to share a little bit about their journey.
Also going to share 2 microphones.
Do you want, I have an extra lift if that's helpful.
Not gotten any taller. I'm gonna ask my questions from down here. I mean, from up here. Okay. And you guys can be down there. I'm not gonna sit on anybody's lap.
Okay.
We'll do it that way. All right, we're going to put this first. Are you going to speak into it when you
Is this on?
It'll be like Noah's Ark.
That's right.
Here, I can push that.
Okay. Now, Shabbat Shalom. So most of you know that I've been in this congregation for 3 years. And so I don't intimately or even marginally know the history of how this group got together, this congregation. Rabbi mentioned us coming together as a community and the feelings we create when we do that. Coming together is easy and beautiful and really hard, as he just mentioned. Every person in this room, even if you haven't started a business, have had intersections of their lives where they really had an idea of what they wanted to create, and what was created is never what you intended originally. That process, that making sausage process, is hard, and we all learn a lot. And so I'm kind of hoping that we learn a lot from you guys tonight about some of the process and how what you all did and what you envisioned got us to this moment. I'm excited to learn this. I really am. I loved being at the service a few weeks ago at the church, where I learned a ton about the background of this community, and I look forward to learning more. So I'm going to ask each of you to give your name in case people don't know who you are, which congregation you had represented, and then one of the goals that you might have had in this coming together. Look, we all know that congregations don't intersect unless they have to. It's never like, oh yes, we're all so great financially and we have lots of numbers, so I think we'll join with the other congregations. So there has to be reason, there have to have been reasons why the congregation, the two, decided to join. So give us your name and which congregation you represented, and then kind of what you were hoping for, please. Thank you.
You want us to go each at a time?
Well, if you all talk at the same
what I
time,
mean
it'll
is-
be hard.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm Gary Bluestein, and I was from Temple Beth Am. And do you want me to talk about or do you want to first go to each?
No, do
Okay.
what you're doing.
That's what I
Yes.
meant. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So yes, I came from the Temple Beth Am side. When the rabbi asked me to speak on this, and I thought 13 years ago, I'm having trouble remembering what I had for breakfast. So I'm thinking 13 years ago. But then it all came back to me. And actually, I'm going to go back a little farther to address what you just asked. I was very involved in leadership going back a long way. But going back even farther, I went to nursery school down the hall. And I stood here and had my bar mitzvah next to Rabbi Kerman. So this temple meant a great deal to me. And I was very active in it, and we hit a wall. Our congregation, for some reason, started to split. And those of you, if anybody here remembers it was very adversarial. And I was in charge of finance and watched the dues going down the drain. And I knew we weren't going to meet our budget. So desperately, I tried to raise some money so we wouldn't fail. And I was told, talk to certain key people in the Jewish community to get some advice, which didn't help because they told me we had no chance. That's what I was told. Our house wasn't in order and I shouldn't even try. And I was devastated. I didn't want to be part of the leadership that turned the lights off of Temple Beth Am. So I decided to give it a try anyway. And because of certain key members of the congregation, and some are here today, Michael Berger, Joe Glickman, his mother Marlene Glickman, and Barry Radlin. Excuse me, I ate a mint right before I came to talk, and it stuck in my throat. But anyway, so the bottom line was, because of their involvement and them stepping up, all of a sudden the congregation stepped up, and miraculously we raised $150,000 in several weeks. And I still don't know how it happened, and the temple survived. Things got better, and people seemed to be coming together. The problem was, the congregational meetings we would have during this crisis were filled with hundreds of people, most of them very angry about various things, and that went away. The problem was, we had 20 people at our meetings after that, and I noticed apathy, and I was concerned with demographics, and now we had a new crisis, because although we got by one, I wasn't sure if we were going to survive into the future. Excuse me. And then other people stepped up in leadership. Todd Sugarman took over as president, and he reminded me today, he came to me and said, what do you think about a merger with Temple Sinai? And that was just when I was stressing out of my mind about the finances. And I said, Todd, that would be fantastic. And I got to admit, I had mixed feelings because Temple Beth Am was here for so many years, and in a way it was going away. But we had two congregations that were merging together to form a much healthier congregation. So it was a tremendous move, and thanks to the leadership at the time, Jill and Todd, and also the leadership that continued with Bruce and so many other people, the temple thrived. And I know it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the merger. I truly believe that. So it was a great thing, and we got Rabbi Alex. So that was even an added bonus. So I'm very grateful for it. Just one last point. I remember the merger committee. They were concerned about the cultures merging and the reconstruction and reform and how would that work. And I knew that wasn't going to be a problem. I knew everything was going to work out there. I was a little concerned because they talked about communication and how could we get our congregations to know about this, because it was by email and people weren't reading their emails. And then I had heard that Temple Sinai was selling its building, I think, to a Messianic church. And I was very concerned about communication, I thought, because if we don't get the word out there, there's going to be some confused people going to holiday services the following year. But it all worked out. And I am so grateful, again, to the leadership that made this happen. And I don't think we've ever looked back. I don't think it could be any better. So thank you to everybody who did that.
Thank you so much.
I'm Robin Rayfield, and I represent the old Temple Sinai. And let me tell you, it was a challenge in the sense that my identity as a Jewish adult came from being part of Temple Sinai. We raised our son there, we got married by the rabbi there, and it was very important to us. And as our son got older, surprisingly, we got more and more involved. And I think I ended up on the temple board. You know, it really is hard to remember 13 years ago. And so I did go through all my old notes and see what I could remember. Was I on the board? Was I a secretary, maybe? Thank you. See, I thought that was it. And so when Jill talked to us about the possibility of a merger, I was skeptical. I was heartbroken, and I was skeptical. So I tried to be involved. I tried to be open-minded, and we did sit together as a Temple Sinai crew. Jill just reminded me that we came up with a list of non-negotiables. We were not going to do this deal if we didn't keep Rabbi Alex, if we didn't keep some Reconstructionist identity, if the whole money from the sale of the temple wasn't going to go to the operating budget. Those were things that we were concerned with. And then there are, you know, all of the things that Gary talked about. Some things, and we sat through. It was a really wonderful process. A big several committees talking about different functions, coming together and reviewing it. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, things went faster than we anticipated. I think we had originally scheduled that it could take as long as 2 years. And the decision was made within half a year. And then, you know, I was really impressed with, again, as you were talking about, the importance of communication. And Jill really stressed that we really needed to communicate with every single temple member. And so Jill committed to holding town meetings, small town meetings with all the Temple Sinai people. And I didn't think she should do it by herself, so I think I sat in on all of them with her, so that every single person had the opportunity to say their piece. And I think we were worried about what was going to happen with the vote, but here we are. So I'll stop there. Oh.
I'm Mark Slonim. I'm a former Temple Sinai member, and Robin said she was skeptical about the whole thing. I was more than skeptical. I was vehemently against it. And I remember Jill came to me and said, I want you to be on the merger committee. I'm like, I think she just did that to shut me up, frankly. And, you know, I had a real connection to Temple Sinai. I mean, I was there for 52 years, my whole life. You know, my baby naming, went to Hebrew school 3 days a week. I could have been taking guitar lessons, but no, I had to go to Hebrew school. I had my bar mitzvah, my kids' baby naming, my kids' bat mitzvahs, and now all of a sudden you're going to take all this away. Not only are we going to lose Temple Sinai, we're going to lose the building. I was really, I was pretty vocal about it. I didn't want to do it, and I think, like I said, Jill, maybe it was more of a Machiavellian thing. She just said, get on the committee, check it out, and as we went through the whole thing, I kind of changed my mind. I met new people. I made a lot of new friends off of this. Became involved after the merger with communications and all this. You know, around the same time this was going on, I was watching somebody give a lecture. One of the things he said was, and this sticks in my mind, I think about this all the time, if you don't like change, you're gonna hate extinction. So that really kind of says it all. And by the way, who was this guy Todd Sugarman that's trying to force all this on everybody? But it worked out. He made a good decision to really contact Temple Sinai and cause the merger. I think it worked out for the best for everybody.
Thank you.
There's nothing left to say. Well, yeah, actually there is. My name is Judy Henn, and I was a member of the Beth Am committee. And I was a member of the steering committee, and then I co-chaired one of the subcommittees, the religious practices subcommittee, which was an interesting one to co-chair because, as you said, there were some real concerns about some differences in belief and religious practices. And as it turned out, we really worked together very well, and there was not as big a difference as we originally thought there might be. And the rabbis gave us some presentations about reform and Reconstructionism, and we said, what were we concerned about? You know, fairly minor differences. But, so I was a member of Temple Beth Am, had been a member of Temple Beth Am from the time I got married, actually, and my kids were bar mitzvah here and so forth. What I think a lot of Beth Am people don't know was that when I was a teenager, I was a member of Temple Sinai because we lived on the corner of Margaret and Charlotte, which was a block or two away from Sinai. And my mother said, if you want to go to Temple, you got to go there because I'm not driving you anywhere. So I was confirmed from Temple Sinai. Not my bat mitzvah, but I was confirmed there. And so I had deep feelings for Temple Sinai as well as Temple Beth Am. And I thought that this was a wonderful idea. And so all of you were talking about how difficult it was to make this happen. And I'm remembering how smoothly it happened. I'm remembering how well the Beth Am and the Sinai people worked together. And yes, there were differences. There were definitely differences. We had differences about kashrut. We had differences about organ. You know, you didn't want an organ, and we had an organ, and we had a professional choir, and you had a volunteer choir. And in the end, it really didn't matter. And so I'm remembering during the course, I guess we had already made the decision that we were going to merge, but the merger wasn't going to happen until July 1st, because that was the beginning of the fiscal year. And the Sisterhood Shabbat that year, which was in May, that I coordinated, was the first joint service between Sinai and Beth Am, and it was remarkable. It was wonderful, and I remember vividly how happy we were to be joining with each other.
Thank you so much. So when we get together to get married, or we get together to merge a company, we find that when we treat each other with respect, with kavod, with love, with honor, that we can do just about anything. And are there times when we have some doubts or regrets or wistfulness? Oh, I remember when I was single and I didn't have to cook dinner for other people, and I could just make what I want. I could have a can of soup if I just want to for dinner. But all the good that you get out of the merger, whatever that merger is, way outweighs the bad. And it's funny that you said extinction. I always think the only reason people change is that not changing is more awful or more difficult or more impossible. We evolve, and we evolve into each other, and we get so much more out of getting to know each other and working together. During High Holy Days, the rabbi talked a lot about what this community has done together. And just in our 3 short years here, we have found that. The amount of light this community brings out for everyone is so marvelous. So I want to thank you all. I'm wondering if you could each just end by briefly saying what you're gladdest about. I I just said what I'm happiest about in finding this community. It was actually the fact that this was a merged community that made me very excited when I was, before we ever moved here, when I was shopping online, and I said, for synagogues, shul shopping, and I said, wow, a Reconstructionist and a Reformed synagogue that joined? How cool is that? I bet they bring the best of each tradition, and I want to experience that. What's the thing that each of you find most fabulous or engaging or satisfying as you come here? And that's how we'll end tonight.
I would have to say, I'm just really pleased that we survived because of the merger. As I said earlier, in this demographics, it's difficult for synagogues in many areas, and we're thriving. And I think it is because of the two congregations merging their strengths together. And if we didn't do it, I really do wonder if we'd still be here. So I think it's fantastic. And again, I want to thank the leadership that's continued since the merger.
I watched very carefully for the first few years, and actually I still do it. I used to sit in the back and I'd say, who's here from Temple Sinai? Who's here from Beth Am? And then as time went on, who came to Shir Shalom? And now it's getting a little fuzzy in my mind, so you know things have started to work really well. And it did take some time, but I think the sense of community that we feel, the welcomeness, the reputation that we have for being a welcoming community is just so important. And I always, when I come to services, I always leave feeling better, even if I'm grouchy when I come in, always feel better.
Well, I think both what Gary and Robin said I feel the same way. I think also the merger really made this synagogue more powerful. I don't want to be cliche, but it's almost like with Rabbi's leadership, we've become really a shining light to the whole community at large, not just the Jewish community. And I think that's a huge positive for what we've done 13 years ago.
I think what I like best about this congregation, and when Robin was saying that she would sit in the back and look, now those are Beth Am people and those are Sinai people. These days, I'm floored at how many people were neither Sinai or Beth Am, that they are people who have joined since. And to me, that is a huge, huge sign of how successful we have been. But what I like about this temple is the warm, welcoming atmosphere, sense of community. When I walk in here, even people I don't know, I feel that we are all part of a community, and we all want to be here. And Rabbi Alex has a lot to do with that. I'm glad that was a non-negotiable, by the way. And so, thank you.
Thank you all so very much. I can.
I see a hand in the.
There were about 20 people on that committee, and they were all great people. These are four people.
Right.
Almost everybody is still in a leadership role. That shows what a great community that was. 10 people from one side and 10 people from the other.
And I think let's give them a round of applause.
Well, I want to thank the four of you and the people who put the committee together, committees, the 10 and 10, because whatever insight and divine help you had, it really created the most marvelous community. Speaking as someone who's new here, so I look at this community with a slightly different eye. Great time to thank Rabbi Alex and the cantor and Sean for the service tonight. Michael, thank you for making this possible, because we can only learn and get stronger and go forward as we take a look at where we came from. Joe Glickman also, thank you so much for all your support in this. We have a fabulous oneg once again by Bloom and Rose, and we are going to continue this process of L'chaim here in our 13th year by taking a look at the things we come together for in community. And we come together at a time of birth, not everybody in the delivery room, but we come and celebrate with the parents in a lot of different ways. And so on January 9th, we will take a look at birth and Jewish birth ritual, Jewish naming ritual. I just really appreciate allowing us to take a trip through the experiences that we have together, which is what keeps us together as a community when we celebrate together. So thank you so very much. Shabbat shalom. Only one
Wonderful,
trip.
that was terrific,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh, you did get tripped on, though.
Just because.
Okay. Thank you, Ronnie, for doing that as well. And happy birthday again to Evie, too. Yes, I agree. Thank you for saying. And this is Cantor's 10th year, so we should really acknowledge she's been part of the majority of Shir Shalom.
Yes, I'll be starting my 11th in July.
Oh, yes. Oh, so we
Yeah.
have an important announcement. I don't know if Joe's here, since you just revealed that. I think we should. Did you already leave? Well, Todd was there. So anyways, we both signed new contracts, so there you go. Let's turn to Aleinu, page 586. It's not enough for us to just pray. We need to go and do good things in this world.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
You may be seated. Let's turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. We did have a loss. Joyce Kaufman's grandson, Julian, died at only 26. May his memory be a blessing. We also lost in the last month Milton Dudek and Carl Jonathan Eggers. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Frederick Barish, Mildred E. Boslov, Louis M. Bunis, Joseph Bushberg, Lawrence Capone, Rose Cassover, Yvette Robinson Chutkow, Norman Cohen, May Chorus, Lee G., Edelson, Reva Finkel, Mildred Fishwick, Ann Freed, Max Fry, Yafim Gelfer, Edith Goldstein, Morris Heskins, Annette Himmelstein, Florence Kaplan, Morris Kirschner, Donnie Kirsch, Meyer Chorus, Harry Lane, Adele Levitas, Lawrence J. Lipman, Shirley Marquesi, Sarah Martin, Max Mingle, Frida Modick, Rose Nosnitsky, Bessie Ostreicher, Miriam Radlin, May Sakowitz, Henrietta Cohen Schechter, Pearl Scheif, Betty Schuster, Mary Chevet, Esther Sheik, Harold Siegel, Yetta Strauss, Sydney Sugar, Sanford Sugarman, Nathan Unher, and Arthur Wasserman. If there's other names you'd like to say, just raise your hand. Yep. Yeah, Jack Yellen, thank you. The funeral for Jack Yellen is at 11, I think at Temple Beth Tzedek on Sunday. All those whose custom it is to rise, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach yirtei v'yamlik malchutei b'chayachon v'yomachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemeda kudasha b'rechu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, and we say amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. May their memories be for a blessing. By the way, I often add the words v'al kol yoshvei tevel, which means in the whole world over, not just peace in Israel. It is actually included in one of the other versions of Mourner's Kaddish in the book. Where Bruce is waiting so patiently over there, so come on over.
Okay, so he found the perfect Fonzie jacket at the rummage sale
I did.
on Sunday. He showed it to me. It's like, yes.
I'm ready. Hey. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom. I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's service as much as I did. Our first L'chaim, a celebration of Jewish life. Thank you to Robin and Mark and Judy and Gary for sharing the role that you played in all of this. Thank you to the whole committee. It was really a momentous time for us. I should point out one thing. Temple Beth Am and Temple Sinai, their services did not have announcements. That's a Shir Shalom thing. Just pointing. That's true. I'm just pointing that out. That is a Shir Shalom thing. So, just for what it's worth. Thank you to Rabbi Alex Cantor Frank and Sean Poland for a very delightful service tonight. Thank you, of course, to Michael Berger for sponsoring our new Shabbat series. You have been a wonderful supporter of this temple, and we appreciate it very, very much. Thank you. We also want to wish a healthy and happy birthday to Mom, Evie, and Joanne, one of whom is 96. You guess which one. The other two, if you guess them, will not be happy. Thank you to our service greeters this evening, Evie Weinstein, Sherry Jo Reich, Keith Berzon, and Sheila Bernard Tucker. It takes a village, so we appreciate your help. Tomorrow morning, Torah study, 9 a.m. That is at Temple Beth Tzedek via their Zoom. The Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon are at 10:45 at Temple Beth Tzedek. There is B'Kol Religious School Sunday at 9, followed by junior choir at 11:30. Shevetas, our last Shabbatas of the year, of the season, will be this Tuesday. We're going to take a break. The chicken crew will take a well-deserved break until springtime, but we will be out here this Tuesday, so please join us, and thank you to everyone who supports Shabbatas in every way that you do. It's a very important part of this temple. This month, well, not quite, Tikkun Olam's annual November Thanksgiving Baskets food drive is underway. We are collecting all the non-perishable items for a Thanksgiving dinner: stuffing mix, cake mix, canned cranberry sauce, canned fruits and vegetables, as well as potatoes. We're going to take collections here until next Friday, the 21st. If you would like to donate a frozen turkey, please do that. If you'd like to donate, make a financial contribution, please do that. Contact Chris Cohan via email if you're able to donate a frozen turkey or a gift card to a local grocery store. And there are emails out if you would like to volunteer next weekend as we assemble the baskets and then hand them out. That will be over at North Presbyterian Church. I just want to say this is amazing. As the rabbi mentioned, we had our the 70th anniversary Temple Beth Am service over at Amherst Community Church, which is where the temple worshiped before they had a building, before they had this building. And that night in the announcements, I mentioned the Thanksgiving food drive. And Amherst Community Church has made a generous donation to our Thanksgiving food drive. The power of the announcements. No, they heard it and they said, what can we do to help? They're looking to help the hungry, and that was a perfect opportunity. So, Marta, you were instrumental in all of that, so thank you. Thank you to everyone who donated, volunteered, or shopped at the Women of Shir Shalom rummage sale. Best rummage sale ever.
Really?
Ever. Best ever.
I think it was mostly my money.
They raised more this time than any other one. It was a phenomenal success, and I found a leather jacket for tomorrow night. Let's see, go to page 2. The Daisy Girl Scouts, which are led by our member Kristen Coakley Asher, are earning a badge for their work in helping the SPCA. We are helping them. So if you can bring in any unopened, unexpired pet foods or treats, new or gently used pet supplies, toys, collars, leashes, and old but clean towels and washcloths, the girls will deliver the donations to the SPCA on December 18th, so you have another month to donate it here. Tomorrow night, as the cantor mentioned, is our Murder Mystery Dinner Theater. The theme is 50s sock hop. If you've made a reservation, lucky you, it's going to be a hoot and a half, so I look forward to seeing many of you there. Okay, the big stuff is yet to come. Pop Star Purim Pandemonium, say that 4 times fast. Auditions for the Purim Spiel will be a week from Sunday. That's November 23rd from 1 to 3 p.m. There are big parts, there are small parts, there are speaking parts, there are singing parts. You name it, we are looking for people, so please come for that. There's a flyer outside the sanctuary with more information. A serious note, yes, I can be serious from time to time. You guys are all aware of phishing emails, and unfortunately, they are extremely active right now. And the rabbi's email got hacked again. So if you get an email from the rabbi or anyone at Temple asking you for your personal information or a gift card or financial details, it is a scam. So if you get one of those, please let the office know. I got one from the rabbi, and I was a little suspicious because he asked me for a gift card for Red Robin because he was hankering a bacon cheeseburger. I said, I don't think that didn't happen. But seriously, I got one from him a week and a half ago, and it was signed Alex Lazarus Klein, pastor. That's true, that's true. So he's apparently been hacked by really stupid people. But a scam is a scam. Anyway, so if you do get one of those, please let the office know. And please join us in the social hall for our Oneg Shabbat, sponsored by Michael Berger and catered by Bloom and Rose. So, Shabbat Shalom. Go Bills. Please, for God's sake, go Bills. And thank you, as always. You know, Judy talked about the sense of community, and we feel it every week here and have for 13 years. And thank you for being part of that community.
we bring over Evie for the, and Rella, if you want to come over too, we have a challah over here. Oh, wait, first, we're going to have our closing hymn first, obviously. So and Cantor said it was a surprise, so I don't want to give it away.
Oh, no, you can't. It is on page 645, a beautiful setting of Genesis 12, sentences 1 and 2. Lichilach, go forth to a life of blessing. It took our pioneers here from both communities to go forth, to actually entertain the call to go forth and to make that bold step. And every day we get called to make bold steps, and may we be strengthened. Lichilach. You're welcome to sing along with me. And again, a Debbie Friedman setting. Lechilach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechilach, to a journey I will bless you. And you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lechilach, Lechilach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechilach, to the place that I will show you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechilach. And you shall be a blessing.
Beautiful. What a perfect surprise. I love that. All right, so let's bring over Rella and Evie as the birthday ladies of the day. Is it okay? To lift up our challah over here. I always love when people come here for their birthday. I'm very impressed, and I hope also you can go out somewhere else as well. Yeah, but it's special when your birthday is on a Friday. And you'll hold it up for Joanne, who is having her own meal. We'll sing her happy birthday tomorrow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ha'otzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Please return your prayer minus the leaflet, and Shabbat Shalom.
Happy birthday, dear Rella and Evie and Joanne. Happy birthday to you.
Sure. Well, let's do it down here, because I think it's still on.
Yes, the.
Let me just put it down.